How's it going, guys? I'm going to talk about what just went down WrestleMania 32. Um, usually I don't complain a lot about matches and the show. Usually I try to enjoy and watch it, but WrestleMania 32 was a complete failure. Um, like the show itself was a complete disaster. The way they set up they set up the freaking matches, for the pre-show and then on the show. I'm gonna go through everyone. Um, Pre-show was the Bad and Blonde team, Bad and Blonde versus Total Divas. Match was fucking all right, I guess, for what it is. Ava Marie fucking botched the shit out of it. Um, Ryback versus Kalisto, I didn't get to see that. I heard it was pretty decent, so which should have been on the main card. Dudley Boys versus Usos was also on the pre-show, which fucking sucked. It was like 6 minutes, and Dudley's lost, even though they were over on the crowd. Main card, first match was the ladder match. It was pretty good, but Zack Ryder winning the match did not make sense. And the reason why is not too long ago he was in NXT with Mojo. They were doing tag team, and all of a sudden they do this ladder match, and all of a sudden he just comes in the picture, and then and the thing that bothers me is, like, I'm not trying to be a wrestling mark or anything like that, but it should have just been Sammy versus Owens. Those two could have put on a hell of a match by themselves, but they insisted on making that match a 7-man ladder match with guys who barely, it doesn't make sense. And Zack Ryder ended up winning, and again, it doesn't make sense. To me, at least. I don't know to you, but I don't know, man. It's very disappointing. I mean, nothing against Zack Ryder. He's pretty good, but it doesn't make sense to go from NXT and tagging in a matter of a month or two, not even like a month and a half, to winning the IC title at Mania. It just doesn't make sense. But I'm gonna move on. The next match I think it was, well, I don't know, I forgot the order of it, but Styles versus Jericho. Good match, but having Styles lose his debut WrestleMania match doesn't make sense to me. And I don't understand what the booker is thinking. I don't understand what they're thinking. It's like Jericho jobbed for Fandango at WrestleMania 29. Why would you have him not do that for Styles? Because in the long run, that makes Styles look bad. Yes, I know scripted, blah 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 blah, but still, there are people who think, So it was a good match, but Styles should have won, and that's all I gotta say. New Day versus League of Nations. It was whatever, nothing special. And League of Nations won, which, again, Vince and the WWE doesn't listen to their fans. They see, oh, this particular group or, superstar or whatever is over on the crowd. The crowd really loves them. So let's have the other team win. Or the other person win. So that way the crowd can just fucking boo. And so they had, League of Nations win. And then Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, and Mick Foley came out. They act like they were gonna have a match, and it's just a bunch of bullshit for like 2-3 minutes, which they were trying to neglect the fact that New Day lost. Next one was the Triple Threat Divas match: Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha. That was a perfect match. That was one of the most. That was probably the greatest Divas match I've ever seen. Women's match I've ever seen in my life. They did so well. They put on a show. It couldn't get more better than that. They did so well, and they finally debuted the new title, which it's the WWE title, just with a white strap. But they did really good. And at that point, they really, because if it wasn't for that match, I would rate WrestleMania way lower. But props to them. Charlotte won, which I don't mind. I mean, I would have been happy with either of them winning. Next match, Ambrose versus Lesnar, and they had the potential to make this a great match. But, again, they made this it was a no DQ, it was a hardcore match where no hold bar. And they used a couple kendo stick, some chairs, nothing special. The match was boring. It felt like they didn't really try. It only lasted, I think, 8 or 9 minutes, maybe 10. I don't know. It wasn't that good. They hype things up for a reason, and then they have Lesnar win, which again everyone wanted Ambrose to win, but WWE doesn't listen to their fans. They don't give a shit. Because they know people buy it. People will buy the product. People will pay and pay and pay. So they don't care. But yeah. That match was whatever. Next one. What was it? 1 second. Oh, and then The Rock. No. Okay. Taker versus Shane. It was a really great match. Pretty crazy. They had, Shane jumped off this, the Hell in a Cell. And missed. And then Taker put him back in the ring. Tombstone, boom. And he ended up losing, which it doesn't make sense because they were hyping, Shane so much just to only have one match and then lose. So I'm guessing he only came back because, Cena was injured. Well, clearly he wasn't, but at the time, all that. But it was a great match. The triple threat in that match pretty much just saved the show for what it is. But yeah, no outside interference, which is kind of a bummer, but what can you do? And then The Rock had a fucking segment, which every fucking WrestleMania does, and it's completely bullshit. Because they spend 20 minutes on something when they could just have added another match. But no, they want this guy because he's fucking superstar. But, and then goes on to fucking bury Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. Cena comes out, then they both bury the Wyatt family. It was just completely pointless, and it pissed me off. Last match. Before that, it was the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, and Baron Corbin won. That was good. Even though he wrestled at Takeover on Friday against Aries. But yeah, and they had fucking Shaq. That one, like, if Baron Corbin would have won, and Shaq was there, then I don't fucking understand you, WWE. I don't. Why the fuck Shaq? Why Shaq? Like, I might not watch WWE after Monday. I'll watch NXT, because NXT is a far superior brand. Yeah, same WWE, but NXT is a different planet. And then the main event, Roman Reigns, Triple H. I think you guys all know. Reigns does the Superman punch, spears stuff, blah 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 blah. He wins and gets rained down with booze. And it blows my mind because WWE, they know these. They know this. They know he gets booed every single night. They know people don't like him. But yet they're shoving him down our throats. I will never understand. I really wish I could be a writer or a booker for WWE because I would do so much. But what we can do, all we can do is just complain online. But yeah, so I give this WrestleMania 4.5 out of 10. Also, fuck Snoop Dogg. Motorhead should have been inducted in the Hall of Fame. But yeah. See you later, YouTube.